All right, so today we're doing a deep dive on something called higher powered.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of, it seems to be at this intersection of health and wealth
Okay.
and also this booming cannabis industry.
Interesting.
Yeah, so our sources for this are um, some snippets from a promotional conversation
Mm-hmm.
and a follow-up invitation.
Okay.
And basically what we're trying to figure out is, can someone really improve their health
Right.
and their finances
Yeah.
through a virtual dispensary?
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of the big question here.
Very curious.
And also this this thing they call the 7M mindset.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
let's dive in.
All right.
So in the source material, they talk about higher powered as
Yeah.
standing for helping individuals get health empowering resources.
Okay.
And it's about giving people the knowledge and resources they need
Right.
to improve their well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And this all ties back to this 2018 Farm Bill,
Right.
which like really blew up the cannabis market.
Yeah. I mean, the Farm Bill really was a game changer, I think, for the industry
Sure.
by essentially legalizing hemp production at a federal level.
Okay.
It just created this massive opportunity for all these different cannabis-derived products to hit the market.
For sure. And navigating all that is
Right.
can be pretty tricky.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole new world out there for a lot of folks.
Yeah, so that's where this this Dr. Matt comes in,
Okay.
and he's partnered up with a company called Cannaglobe,
Mm-hmm.
and they've developed this thing they call the virtual dispensary ownership model.
Virtual dispensary ownership.
Yeah, or VDO.
VDO.
Okay, and I know you're thinking,
What am I thinking?
like, how does a virtual dispensary even work?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like,
Right.
is that like just a website?
Well, basically, it allows you to sell both THC and non-THC products
Oh, wow.
legally, all online.
Okay.
So there's no like brick and mortar store.
Interesting. So you don't have to deal with like the actual
Yeah.
physical inventory. And
Exactly, no inventory headaches.
Okay, so that plug and play kind of thing,
Yep.
that's appealing to a lot of people, I bet.
For sure, especially if you're new to the industry.
Right. And especially, I would imagine people who maybe don't have the resources to open a traditional dispensary.
Exactly.
That could be a real barrier for a lot of people.
Right.
But I do have to wonder about the legalities of it all.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, how does this model work with all the different regulations around THC products? I mean, it's
Yeah.
different from state to state, right?
Exactly. And that's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, we're going to have to unpack that a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
But sticking with this VDO model for now,
Okay.
it seems like a pretty big part of what Higher Powered is promoting.
Okay.
But they also emphasize this thing called the 7M mindset.
7M mindset. What's that all about?
So it stands for members making money. Members making money.
Ah, okay. So it's like a network marketing type of setup.
Yeah. Sounds kind of familiar, right?
Yeah, that's a classic model, and it can be really effective.
How so?
Well, for one, it can foster a real sense of community.
Okay.
You know, everyone's working together towards a common goal, and it really leverages that word-of-mouth marketing.
Right, because you're relying on your...
Exactly. People are sharing their experiences with their friends and family.
Yeah.
But of course, it's important to remember that there are potential downsides, too.
Oh, for sure. Like what?
Well, you know, it's not a guaranteed path to riches.
Right.
It takes a lot of dedication and
know.
effort to build a successful network.
Right. You got to put in the work.
Exactly. And not everyone's cut out for that.
So in our source material, Dr. Mack talks about this free 3 to free 3 process.
Free 3 to free 3.
Yeah. So basically, you help 3 people open their own virtual dispensaries.
Okay.
And then you support those 3 people in doing the same.
Got it. So like a chain reaction kind of thing.
Yeah. That's the idea.
Interesting. So it's all about duplication,
Mm.
and that leads to rapid growth theoretically.
Right. So it's not just about your own success,
Right.
but about helping others succeed too.
And everyone benefits from the expanding network.
Exactly.
But I am curious about the specifics.
Like what?
Like what kind of support is provided to those new virtual dispensary owners?
Mm-hmm.
Is there training involved?
Mm-hmm.
Mentorship? Ongoing resources?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to say help them do the same,
Right.
but what does that actually look like in practice?
That's definitely something we need to dig deeper into.
Yeah, because the success of the model really hinges on that support system.
Right.
You know, is it just about recruitment, or are they genuinely focused on empowering these new business owners?
Yeah, and it seems like they're trying to position Higher Powered as more than just a business opportunity.
Okay.
They talk about, destigmatizing cannabis, empowering communities, building generational wealth.
So it's like a movement, not just a marketplace.
Exactly. They're aiming for something bigger than just selling products.
That's a powerful message, especially considering the history of cannabis. You know,
Yeah.
all the stigma and prohibition it's faced for decades.
Right. And now we're seeing this rapid shift in public perception
Exactly.
and legal acceptance.
And that's opening up so many opportunities.
For sure, not just for businesses, but for individuals too.
Right. People who are looking to improve their well-being, explore new career paths,
Yeah.
maybe even challenge those societal norms.
It's interesting how higher powered is tapping into all these major trends at once.
It really is.
You've got the rise of the gig economy,
Mm-hmm.
the increasing demand for alternative health solutions,
Right.
and of course, this ongoing cultural shift around cannabis.
Yeah. It's like they're riding this wave of change.
For sure. And it's a reminder that even in a world that feels increasingly complex
Yeah.
and fast-paced,
Mm-hmm.
there are still opportunities for innovation
Absolutely.
and positive change.
Exactly.
And sometimes those opportunities arise in the most unexpected places.
Like the cannabis industry.
Right. Who would have thought?
Yeah. It really is a shift from how we used to think about the cannabis industry. It's not just about, getting high anymore. It's about wellness. It's about entrepreneurship.
It's about community.
Exactly. And if they're really walking the walk when it comes to community empowerment and destigmatization,
Right.
that could have huge implications.
Totally. And that brings us back to this VDO model.
Okay.
While the plug-and-play aspect is definitely attractive,
Mm-hmm.
are there any potential downsides?
That's a good question. I mean, any business model has its pros and cons.
Right.
So what are we missing here?
Yeah. Are there hidden costs?
Right. And how do they handle quality control,
And what about compliance with all those cannabis regulations?
especially across different states?
Right. Because those vary so much.
Oh, absolutely. It's a patchwork of laws out there.
And to be fair, we're working with limited information here.
Right. We're just looking at snippets.
But it does raise the question.
What's that?
Is this a sustainable model for long-term success?
Okay, so thinking big picture here.
Yeah. Or is it just capitalizing on this current boom?
Because the industry is changing so rapidly,
Oh, yeah.
what works today might not work tomorrow.
Right.
So adaptability and innovation are going to be crucial for anyone in this space.
Absolutely. And speaking of innovation, let's get back to that free 3 to free 3 process.
Okay, so you help 3 people open their virtual dispensaries.
Right. But how do you then help them recruit 3 more?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. What kind of support or training is provided?
Because it's like a branching tree, right?
Okay. I like that analogy.
Each new dispensary owner becomes a new branch point.
And then they branch out further.
Exactly. And the success of the model depends on effective training,
Right.
mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
empowering each person to replicate the process.
So it's not just about signing people up.
Right. It's about giving them the tools
Yeah.
and knowledge to actually build a successful business.
So individual success contributes to collective growth.
Exactly. And the network expands.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone benefits.
It's all about collaboration over competition.
Exactly. But it all hinges on that support system.
Right.
How clear is the system?
Yeah. And is the support actually good?
Those are the million-dollar questions.
I mean, this all sounds fascinating.
It does.
But I want to bring it back to our listener for a second.
Okay.
Imagine you're just scrolling online
Mm-hmm.
and you come across this higher powered concept.
Okay.
Would you be intrigued?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Some people might be immediately drawn to the cannabis industry,
Okay.
the potential for financial gain.
Right.
Others might be more skeptical.
Yeah. It's important to approach any opportunity with a critical eye.
Oh, absolutely. Do your research.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Don't just jump in blindly.
We've seen time and time again how these seemingly niche topics
Right.
can actually reveal a lot about larger trends.
Totally.
And this deep dive into higher powered is no exception.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Right. It touches upon the evolving legal landscape of cannabis, the power of online communities,
Yeah,
the desire for financial freedom.
absolutely. It's like a microcosm of the current moment.
It's fascinating how they're tapping into so many things at once.
Like what?
Well, you've got the gig economy,
Okay.
the rise of alternative health solutions,
Mhm.
and of course, this ongoing cultural shift around cannabis.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And that cultural shift is key.
How so?
Well, cannabis has faced stigma and prohibition for decades.
Right.
And now we're seeing this rapid evolution in public perception
Mhm.
and legal acceptance.
Which is creating all these new opportunities.
Exactly. Not just for businesses, but for individuals too.
Right. People who are looking for alternative health options, new career paths, chance to challenge the status quo.
It's a reminder that even in a world